Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a new video for you guys, and today's video is going to be a Talks with Ken video, and it is all about self-discipline. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts, then please stay tuned, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter. And let's get right into the video. Okay, so first and foremost, I just filmed this look and it is going to be in the link in my description box, and I hope I remember to put it there because I always forget to do that stuff. But just check down there. If not, it's definitely on my page. Okay, so the reason why I love doing these talks with Ken is because I like to share my thoughts. I feel like that's one of the biggest things, besides time, it's one of the biggest gifts, and trying to find another word, I can't think of the word, but that we can give to others, other human beings, because as I said in plenty of my videos before, this thing that's called a life is something that a lot of us just don't have the hang of because there is no rules to it, there's no guides. But we can help one another from our experiences and our thoughts, and I think we all learn things differently. So anyways, I love to share my thoughts with you guys. This is not to say that I know everything about what I'm talking about or anything at all. It's just to share on what I've learned from my experience and what I feel has worked for me, or yeah, just my life experience. Self-discipline is definitely something that has been huge, especially in the last couple years of my life. Ever since I kind of left, I'd say it's been prominent ever since I was born, because self-discipline is something that is definitely something that you carry on throughout your life, and you have a different relationship with it at every stage of your life. It became more prominent after I left high school, and then it became even more prominent after I left college, and then even more, like, it just keeps growing and growing as things kind of change and evolve in my life. And I'm pretty sure it's the same for you guys as well. So self-discipline is really, I like to give you guys actual definition and kind of go off of that. So let's see what the actual definition of self-discipline is. So self-discipline, according to dictionary.com, is the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. The ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it. Do you guys get that? You're gonna need self-discipline to do anything, especially if you're trying to grow your social media, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to gain weight, if you're trying to pass your classes, if you're trying to become a professional basketball player, professional football player, an artist, anything, you definitely need a lot of self-discipline, because especially once you're an adult, there's nobody there to tell you like what to do. So you have to learn how to just use your time wisely and do the things that, although you don't really want to do them, is going to benefit you in the long run. And that is something that I've had to really learn, especially becoming a content creator, especially like doing these YouTube videos, producing content on Instagram, all of that. I had to really grow my relationship with my self-discipline and realize that I had no self-discipline at all. I was somebody who, as a kid and stuff, I was always very obedient. So I always listened to my mom and all of that stuff. But I also never had, so because of that, I never had like rules for myself. So I didn't have my own kind of self-discipline unless it was something that I really wanted to do. For example, when I was about 11 years old, I remember I was learning the choreography to all of Ciara's dance videos. I remember it was Goodies, 1 2 Step, and those were her 3 singles at the time, and I was just trying to learn all of them. I used to replay it every single day. Like, that used to be for hours. I used to sit in front of the television and just learn all the choreography. So I learned all the choreography, and I remember at one point in Goodies, she did the split, and at that time I could not do a split. So I dedicated myself I gave myself like a week, if not a couple of days, to just do it. So I went from learning the choreography to get into that last step, and I just dedicated myself to doing that. And I think that was one of the first times I showed self-discipline, at least to myself. And I didn't know it at that time. Actually, when I look back in hindsight is when I realized, like, wow, that was really dope of me to dedicate myself to something that I wasn't necessarily getting anything out of except for exercise, motivation, and something to look forward to every day. Because especially in the summertime, I didn't do anything at all. I used to just stay home, and yeah, it was pretty boring. It was really hard. Well, it was really difficult for me to understand self-discipline because I've only understood the discipline I was receiving from my mom. So I went from being disciplined and stuff by my mom to learning how to discipline myself for my own goals. That was something that I just had to learn to do on my own because I had to realize that I have to have my own goals for myself. And so to reach those goals, I had to have my own self-discipline. Are you guys following? I hope you are. Another thing is that once you're in school, especially pre-K through high school, there's a lot of discipline there because you spend majority of your time in school. I spent majority of my time in school and then after with homework and stuff like that. So really school was all I was doing. I had a lot of after school programs all the way elementary all the way to high school. I had something I had to do after school all the time. I had a lot of stuff going on, so it kind of went from being disciplined through school and then going to college was just a whole new level for me that I really was. I think that's what kind of like stresses you out on your first year of college, is that then you have to kind of like think for yourself and build that structure that you had before for yourself. Like, yes, you still have classes and stuff, but then you have like these random gaps in time. And then I went from being a dance major in high school to not doing anything as far as like dance or anything in college. And then I started to gain weight and all of that. And I was like, what's going on? What's going on? It's like everything kind of crumpled. And I had to kind of learn to start building that actual self-discipline, you know what I mean? Because I still had some structure because I was still going to school, so I was still on a schedule, but my self-discipline was very weak. I didn't know what was going on with my body and myself and my mental. I was just really kind of lost and a little bit stressed out and overwhelmed. Yeah, so from then I had to like start disciplining myself and knowing when to really rest, when to work smarter, not harder, make sure I'm passing my classes, make sure that I am doing what I want to do at that time, making sure that whatever I'm doing is going to progress my goals and is only going to help me and not harm me. Because in college you don't get report cards, you know, to show your parents and then you get disciplined after that. You don't get parent-teacher conferences and stuff like that. You're all on your own. So I think that's when I had like the first major shift in learning how to really discipline myself, which wasn't hard as far as like passing my classes and stuff because I was already doing that, but it was hard as far as like finding what to do with my free time. And yeah, it was like a little leap into like the real world. So from school, then I went to work. I went to doing YouTube right after, to doing social media in general right after college. It was even crazier. When I was in college, I always said that after college, I'm definitely gonna sleep for like a year straight because I was just so tired. I've been in school majority of my life and I felt like I needed a break. But no, I kept moving on and was starting to build my following. So I had to really learn discipline then, and it's only something that I've been mastering within the past 2 years, I'd say. But definitely more this year. I finally feel that I'm more on a better schedule for myself, and I'm still working on it. I feel like overall it's always going to be something that, as I said, your relationship with it changes. And through different stages in your life, you might need to adjust your self-discipline and realize, hey, I'm being too hard on myself. I'm not being hard enough. I'm not working hard enough. And you have to it's the best thing to really step back and look at your progress and look at what you're doing and see if what you're doing is benefiting you in the future. It's one of the main keys and roles, I don't know if I'm using the right words, but it's one of the main ingredients in really being able to flourish on social media or creating your own brand and businesses. It's that you have to do the things that you don't want to do or you're not motivated to do because it's boring. For example, I'm not a big fan of editing So when it comes down to editing the videos, like sometimes I'm in the mood like, yes, I love editing. And then other times I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to edit right now. But I have to do it. In order to get content out, I have to do it. So I have to overcome my laziness and my not wanting to do it just because I know it's going to benefit me in the future. And in school, it was a lot easier because just like your grades are giving you like automatic feedback and stuff like that. And then you have somebody like constantly on you telling you like, hey, you're not doing this or blah, 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 and all of that stuff. And then even when it comes to parenting, you have that same thing. Like you have your parents from a young, especially being like super young, you have your parents telling you like, hey, do this, that, blah, 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 blah. So you have all this discipline from outside sources that have to eventually transfer into discipline for yourself. And this happens too, even if you have a job that you have to go to all the time. As an adult, your discipline just becomes a lot different. Overall, I feel like self-discipline is something that a lot of people tend to struggle with because a lot of people just don't realize that they have to push themselves in order to make something happen. It's not just gonna happen out of nowhere, and that's definitely something that I had to learn because patience is not my strongest suit. So I had to really learn to be patient, but also understand that I have to really, really put work into whatever I'm doing in order for me to see constant results. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video to encourage you guys to really work on your self-discipline, whether that be eating healthy. A lot of people always have these resolutions and stuff at the beginning of the year to eat healthy and lose weight and stuff, and then towards like February, March, it starts to die down. And that's a lack of self-discipline. A lot of people want to create a huge social media following and then they kind of slow down. Lack of self-discipline. If you want to expand your vocabulary but you're not constantly reading and trying to learn new words, lack of self-discipline. If you want to, whatever you want to do, that whatever goals you have that you're not actually putting work into, just understand that's always going to be the lack of self-discipline. And if you don't have self-discipline, you're not going to have a lot. And you have to learn to have that self-discipline to hold yourself accountable and do the things that you don't want to do to get the results that you want. Because if you don't put in the work, it's just not going to happen. It does not happen like that ever. So I just wanted to do this video to hopefully encourage you guys to build your relationship with that, to build that discipline for yourself and understand that you have to do it for yourself because nobody's going to do it for you, and you have to start holding yourself accountable to accomplish and achieve your goals. Because I wouldn't say that anything is hard. It's very simple. It's just a lot of work. And that's really all it is. And to get all that work done, you have to have discipline. And nobody else is going to be behind you telling you like, hey, you have to do this. If you want to like become a millionaire, you have to do this now. If you want to do this, you have to do this now. Like, you just have to do that for yourself. And that's very, very important. So I hope that this motivates you. As I said, it's something that's always evolving and growing. I'm pretty sure in the future I'm going to have to revisit and, you know, check in with myself. And this is why I love journaling, because I'm always able to check in with myself and even go back and be like, hey, this is a time that I was really headstrong on this. I want to build that back up again. Or, you know, here and there, just always reflect and assess and see what you're doing that's working for you and what's not working for you, and push yourself beyond what you don't want to do, because the results are way better than if you just don't do anything at all. So I hope this helped you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If I forget to say anything, I'll usually add it in the titles right down here. If not, I will put whatever in the description box below. But that's really all I have to say. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know what you do in the comments down below to hold yourself accountable and how you hold yourself accountable. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'll see you guys in my next video.